What's up everyone, welcome back to JB Outdoors. Today we're at the build site for the off-grid cabin that I plan on building in the next couple weeks. But today I've got the Ozark Trail 10x12 wall tent and the old wood stove we're going to get set up. Today there's like 2 to 4 inches of lake effect snow coming, so currently it's just now starting, so I'm going to go ahead and get set up, and then we're making venison chili today. So super excited about that, but need to get set up, get the fire started in the stove. Let's do it. Need to make some heat in a bad way. Entire floor in here now is covered in snow. I still have all my hunting stuff in the truck, but it's pretty cold out, and that's definitely helping for now. I'm trying to stay moving and stay warm. My hands are, hopefully the camera can pick that up. That's kind of cool. We'll get started cooking today. I'm going to be doing a venison backstrap chili. So super excited to do that with y'all. Got some backstraps that were packaged up, that I packaged up after harvesting that deer. Get that cooking on the cast iron, and then in the pan I'm actually going to cook down some nice big Roma tomatoes that we froze after our growing season this year at home. Get started, I want to brown the backstrap, it's still a little bit frozen, which is perfect for cutting it up. I want to dice it up. And then I need to chop up. I'm going to use one bell pepper, a yellow one, some stick of celery, and then some green chilies. Like I said, I have those tomatoes that I'll be cooking down beforehand. And then I've also got some hot salsa that I'll use. I already pre-packaged this, so I've got my two different beans. I've got a Great Northern and then a cannellini bean, as well as all the seasonings. I've got cumin, paprika, some black pepper, some salt, and then some coriander. Never made chili myself before, so I'm gonna try this rendition of it. The best thing you can do is do it in the wood stove, or on the wood stove here. To de-skin these things as well too. But these are completely frozen like little baseballs. Alright, I've got a clean plate, and then I'm going to dice up this celery. I'll get this pepper next. Just kind of prep this stuff while everything else is cooking. I'm definitely no chef. I like to cook at home. Just for my family. And the knife that I'm using today is a Condor Bush Lore Mini. My favorite camping knife so far. Pretty excited about this little camp kit that I got for Christmas this year. This thing's super helpful. I've got literally everything I need in here. So I actually have some cutting boards. I just didn't feel like getting those dirty, but I've got some tongs that I'm going to use today, and then probably the ladle once I get it to a liquid soup level. Got the venison browned up pretty well. I think that's like a medium rare, somewhere in there on the cast iron. And then these tomatoes are cooking down pretty nicely. They were completely frozen, so it's taking a little while. So I've pulled all the peels off, and then we'll let this cook down a little bit before we start mixing ingredients. There's still a couple peels left in there, or skins. Tomato's been cooking down for a little while now. Add the celery and pepper, that yellow pepper there. Let that stuff start cooking in. Also got a can of green chilies. Sorry, I'm dealing with a lot of light issues here. But put that whole can in there because I really like green chilies. Also got a half of a red onion I'm going to put in here too. I messed up and forgot my chair, but I've remembered my little camping stool that I got. And this fire is perfect for cooking right now. Even to the point where, as cold as I was earlier, I'm now in a t-shirt. I like the colors. I've got yellow pepper, celery, red onion, green chilies, fresh tomatoes, fresh frozen tomatoes from our garden. I don't know the rule, but I'm going to put the meat in. I'm going to put it all because I'll have, I like kind of more of a meat forward chili rather than bean forward. And this was probably a pound worth of venison backstraps. I'm hoping I'll have enough room for everything now. I'm looking at everything. So I already put my seasonings and everything in. And then rinse the beans, but we'll put those in there too and let those start cooking down a little bit. Mix this all up, and then whatever room I have left, I'm going to put some hot salsa in. It's got some habanero peppers, probably a little bit of everything, but my wife made that, and that was also from our garden at home for the 2024 season. Super excited about this. The recipe that I kind of followed chased an idea of having like 3 cups of salsa. See if I can do this without blowing up in my face. There we go. That's about 2 cups. Oh yeah, she got some bite to it. It's definitely going to be hot. Excited about that. Excited to use a lot of the stuff from our garden. And now, who doesn't like having chili while you're camping? This is like a deer camp tradition, so next year I want to make sure I perfect this this recipe and kind of bring forward something to deer camp for next year. And we'll be in the exact spot that I'll be building the cabin for deer camp. So this being the first time, might as well try something that I haven't done before. And let this cook down now for a little while. Well, before we get too late, I want to make sure I have enough wood, so I'm going to walk down the trail where we stacked all the wood up back for deer camp this year. This was where I put my tent for deer camp this year, so if you look through the woods you can just see my truck and then the new new cabin build site. Well, made myself a cup of tea earlier. It's an Earl Grey honey black tea. Been into drinking tea a little bit more lately, especially as I get older. Don't drink coffee so late, but it's nice to have a cup of tea. I put a couple seasonings in the chili that I did off camera. A little bit of Grippos. Sorry, let me. That's a bit much. A little bit of Grippos. This is actually from down south, out of Cincinnati, Ohio. It's really big in the Kentucky area. And then Brandon brought me this. It's called Cavender's All-Purpose Greek Seasoning. It's very good. It smelled really good. So, a couple new seasonings to try. And then today, I'm just doing the chili, doing a little bit of dishes, and just relaxing. I tell you though, man, that wood stove is cooking me out of here. A little ladle. This chili is looking really good. Hopefully it's as good as it looks. Yeah. Hopefully it's not too hot. Hot salsa that's in it is, I know for a fact that it's pretty hot. So, if it is, we'll find out. But cheers, everyone. It's like a perfect bite. Brandon actually gave me a little bit of sugar to put in it too, to kind of offset the acidity of the tomatoes. But man, I'm so glad I went with backstrap. Yeah, that was a hot bite. There's a nice like sweetness from the yellow bell pepper that I used. I'm glad that's in there because there is a pretty good bite from the salsa, and then probably a little bit from the green chilies. But man, I'm pretty happy with this. I would probably rate it out of 10, solid 8. Venison is like perfect in there. I'm excited for Brandon to try it. Might be a bit hot for his son. My wife might even like this. Well, I suppose I'm gonna finish this, guys. I'm pretty happy with it. I will definitely make this again. I might even make it a few more times and try to keep tweaking it. I think that's the funnest part about chili, is you can totally do whatever you want, and it's everybody has their own spin on it. But I'll keep finishing or keep eating this, and then we'll see what else the night holds. It's almost 8 o'clock already, so probably start winding down and make sure that everything's good for the night. I think I have enough wood in here. But cheers, everyone. Good morning. If you wonder what it's like to use a wood stove in a tent, picture waking up every 2 hours to stoke the wood stove. It definitely makes for an interesting next day, but the older I get, it seems like the less sleep I really need. So I'm gonna make some coffee and then probably start packing this stuff up. The weather's getting kind of nasty. The wind is just starting to rip, and last night it was snowing so hard that it sounded like rain on the top of the tent. So I'm kind of excited to get back. I think I was going to originally work a little bit on the site, but the weather is just so nasty out today, so I'm going to skip on that. We'll wait for a more calm day. For a while I was doing tea in the morning, and then for Christmas I got this new Wakako is the brand. This is an espresso pump. It's a hand pump, so I'm going to use this today. You just place the water in the main cup down below, and then load up the cup for the espresso shot. This is a single shot unit, and my favorite coffee drink is just an Americano, which is just hot, or espresso and water, hot water. So more or less just a watered down espresso shot, but it's pretty neat. It's got a little hand pump, so instead of using electricity or anything, it's all manual. So you just pump it as you need to, and it shoots the espresso out the bottom. Kind of preparing for the trip, I just packed some espresso, which looking back on it now, I packed way too much. That's okay. I usually use like I think it's Illy brand, ILLY. My wife buys that for the house. Try not to make an enormous mess here. Kind of excited to be able to use this. My friend group and I do a big motorcycle camping trip, or at least a couple every year. So I'm gonna utilize this as my coffee setup. Last year I took a little grinder for just regular coffee bean, and then we did pour over. So you just put your hot water in this bottom cup, fill to the line. I'll need that again. This side. Yeah. And then, I'm trying to do this without spilling anything. It's only done this a couple times now. Sweet. And the pump's already out. Starts to build pressure. Then once it gets to the main or whatever pressure it requests or it's set to, you start getting espresso. And once you don't feel pressure there, you can just put the pump away. Water is empty. There you go. Then you can clean the whole thing out. So I'll just dump this in the little trash bag that I have for this camp, and that'll be done. Then for an Americano, I just filled almost the rest of the cup with water. This is a single shot, so a little bit smaller mug here too, but cheers everyone. This is probably one of my favorite parts of camping, is waking up the next day and finding some pretty cool way to make coffee. Go along with my Americano this morning, my favorite breakfast bar, these RX bars. I eat one of these every single day. I have for like the past 2 years. Definitely my favorite. I think the hardest part of these trips with this wood stove and the tent is if you want to get up and leave at a decent time, you lose your heat source, or you have to let the fire go out in the stove, and then the stove stays hot for however long, especially if you got a heavier one than this. But this thing holds heat forever, it seems like, especially when you need to leave in a hurry. But luckily I'm not too much of in a hurry today. I've got a lot of other projects going on. If you watch the channel, there's also a motorcycle build that I'm doing right now for my Kentucky trip in the spring of 2025. That build is based off of a Yamaha Radian 1990 model, but the majority of the parts on the bike are now from a 1986, as I've pretty much bought the frame and a title, as I bought it with a locked up engine, a bad harness, and I don't know, wasn't a great buy. But anyway, that project is probably going to be underway today once I get everything here packed up. Yeah, that's good. It's an excellent cup of coffee. But I've got the damper open on the stovepipe, and then the intake completely wide open, so hopefully we're going to let these ashes burn down the rest of the way. Dragging my feet, getting cleaned up here. Just for a little reference, this wall tent is 10 by 12, and the cabin that I plan to build is 8 by 12, and it's going to go in that same exact spot. But one end will have a picture window on it, and I think it's going to be the wider or the longer end. And I think it's going to be basically where the black window outline that you can see is going to be overlooking the woods. But one question I had for my viewers is the picture window, if you would rather overlook this pond There's a pond here. This cabin usually isn't here. Brandon brought this cabin down last night to stay in. That's a cabin built onto a hay wagon running gear for deer camp. Big push for once I realized how cool that was. I'm like, man, I got to do that myself. But this is going to be my little cabin area nestled back here in the woods. Bunch of pine trees. Got a real nice up north feel. Beautiful out this morning. The snow is sticking to literally everything. I cleared this area last weekend and camped in it this weekend, but I think there's plenty of room here, plenty more to clear out. There's obviously a lot of fallen old pines that have been here for a little while, and it will open everything up and just make this look really nice. Hello everyone. I think I'm going to continue to get packed up, enjoy this last cup of coffee before the day gets really started. So appreciate y'all for watching. Every second counts. Remember to spend more time outdoors, especially even in the winter time, colder seasons. Having equipment like this definitely helps. So I hope this video, you have found value in this video. Again, I'm Justin with JB Outdoors. Remember to spend more time outdoors. See y'all in the next video. Alright, the scariest part, let's get this wood stove stack pulled out of here and move the heat source outside. It's still pretty hot, but I think I just touched this with bare hands, so I think I'll be okay. Whoa! Told you it was scary. Yeah. There. Now we can take the tent down.